Hello, my most amazing and awesome artists. Today we're going to take a special look at the story Mixed that we read in class last week. We mixed up our primary colors in circles. Today we're going to be looking at the emotions of the characters. As I flip through, you'll notice that all of their eyes, eyebrows, noses, and mouths are shown in different ways. They at least all have those eyebrows, eyes, noses, and mouth, but some of them are a little bit different to show what they're feeling. So today we're going to go back onto our dots, but just a quick review of what we did last week. We made circles, keeping our paintbrushes on our tippy toes, using red, yellow, and blue, which are the primary colors. You also had the option to add white to make something called a tint. No, not a tent that you camp in. It's a tint. T-I-N-T. You could make a tint by adding white to a color. That makes it light. To make a color light, you just add white. Then you could mix up tons and tons of colors. Not only just the colors of the rainbow, which is Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet, but you could also make colors like jade, lavender, magenta, pink, light yellow, light green, light pink, blue, green, teal. It was totally up to you and how much time you had to experiment. I hope that your colors didn't get too muddy, and if they did, it was okay to make brown on your paper too, because some of the colors or characters in the book were what happened when you mixed more than one or more than two colors together. So, I hope that you did wash your brush in between colors though, and if you're painting today, make sure that you dab on Mr. Dirty Old SpongeBob in your water bowl before you go ahead and grab another color. That makes sure that your colors stay nice and clean for the next class or artist to use them. So if you didn't quite have enough time to make all the colors of the rainbow plus the tints, then at the end of class today, you might have a chance to add a few more dots to your paper. But for today, we're going to work on the ones that are dry. You can only work on the dots that are dry today, so we're going to start out working on our dry dots, and then if you have time at the end of class, you'll be able to use that paint to add a few more on if you didn't quite finish. So now I'm going back with a Sharpie. We are using Sharpie markers today. Sharpie markers are permanent. They are the color black, which in the book, all of the details, all of the eyes, noses, mouths, ears, hats, scarves, glasses, sunglasses, anything that you could possibly think of, the cars, the city, everything was done in a black marker. The illustrator did it with either a big Sharpie or a little tiny Sharpie. If I look at the tip of it, I can tell that it's really skinny and thin. You also have that bigger Sharpie. Make sure you know the difference between the ones that you're working with. Make sure that you also don't press down too hard or that Sharpie will break. We want to make sure to keep them nice and new. You're also going to have a guide on your table to help you out if you get stuck or don't quite know how to draw eyes, nose, mouths, ears, hats, accessories, whatever. So you will have a paper with different ways to draw your character's emotions. Eyes and eyebrows, noses and mouths, and those accessories. But if you want to create your own, you absolutely can. This is just the way that the author and illustrator, Ari Chung, made his pictures. So I'm showing you how he drew his illustrations and characters in his book. If you have a different way of drawing them, you are absolutely welcome to. I also suggest you look in the mirror today, but you cannot touch that mirror. They are very fragile and breakable. That glass could break. So what you don't want to do, Miss Q, is touch the mirror. Miss Q, stop touching the mirror. Stop touching it. Stop. Okay, as you can see, a lot of them have tape on it because they have broken before. Please make sure that you're not one of those that breaks that mirror again, or I will be very sad. You'll see me making some funny faces in the mirror, showing different emotions. You can use that mirror to practice your emotions today too as you're drawing. If you want a surprised face, a sad face, a scared face, maybe a sad, I don't even know what that is. Angry, hungry, sleepy, happy, whatever it is, you could make that face in the mirror and then draw it on your paper. It's just another thing that can help you out besides the idea sheet to get those emotions on your characters. You want to be telling a story in your picture, but don't worry because next week we'll be cutting these out and adding them to a bigger picture. So in the book though, they all have different emotions. You want to make your own story. If they're all happy and getting along, maybe some of them, maybe the reds are scared, maybe they're sad. It's totally up to you. It's also okay if you don't have a plan for your story quite yet. You could just make and have fun making all different accessories and emotions. Then you can decide later what story you're going to tell when we cut and glue these onto some backgrounds. But don't worry about that yet. Today's all about making those eyes, eyebrows, nose, mouth, and maybe some hats. I'm not going to worry about arms or legs yet because we will be cutting these out. If I make the little tiny legs and arms that the author and illustrator makes in the book, it will be really hard for me to cut out. So I'm going to wait until I glue it onto my background next week or in the next couple weeks to add those arms and legs. For now, I'm just keeping it in the circle and keeping my accessories simple on top. If I do anything too tiny, it will be very hard to cut out. So I'm making sure when I draw a hat that I'm drawing it very simple. If I want, I can put designs on the inside. That would be just okay. If you really want to use pencil first, you can. So say you're not quite sure how to draw something and you don't want to do it in permanent Sharpie. Maybe I'll sketch it out first on my dot with a pencil. Maybe I like having a beanie on this hat. Maybe I don't. So maybe I want to practice having eyes closed, but I don't quite know what that looks like. I can sketch it out in pencil first and then go over my pencil lines with a Sharpie marker when I'm sure about them. Then I'll take my eraser and erase my pencil lines so it's nice and neat. Because in the book, they did draw everything with Sharpie or black marker for those details. So if you want to draw with pencil, that's A-okay. But if you just go for Sharpie, keep in mind you can't erase. The good news is that if you do make a mistake, you can always turn it into a happy accident. There's actually no such things as mistakes in art. You can just turn it into something called a beautiful oops. If you make an oops, turn it into something else. Or if it really upsets you and you just don't like what you made, or maybe you made a big oops, then guess what? You don't have to glue that one to your paper next time. You can skip over that one. That's why I had you make lots and lots of dots. You don't have to use every single one, but I do want you to make your best faces and accessories on every one. You can pick your favorites later. I want to make sure that I go to my favorite dots first, and then I will go back and do all the ones in between that maybe weren't my favorite colors, but I will get to every single one, making different expressions and different accessories on each one because they're all different people and different colors, just like we are in real life. Some might have glasses, some might have braces, some might have hats, some might have, I don't know, bald heads. It's up to you. I will put a bunch of different accessories as you see me drawing now. It's totally up to you what you make. You can make whatever you would like. I would just like you to practice drawing in the style of Ari Chung. He was known for making those simple lines to show those emotions. So for eyes, he just draws a circle with a dot inside. Eyebrows are just lines. And for hats, it's usually just made out of a few lines and curves. That's all. If you need help, just look at that guide. And you're always welcome to draw details like I just drew a feather on that hat. All right, artists, have an awesome time creating your own mixed characters today.